Good morning. Every morning I try to wake up between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock, and I try to get 7 hours of sleep every single night, although on a lot of nights that doesn't happen. Now, after I get up, I then brush my teeth and change and get ready for the day. Wait, just kidding. Go back. First, I make my bed. Then I brush my teeth and change for the day. I wish I could say I didn't look at my phone first thing in the morning, but I do. I look at my texts, a quick glance at my email, and then I'll usually look at the front page of the New York Times or CNN just to make sure the world didn't end while I was asleep. But then, it's time to start my day. So first things first, I've got to let out this little guy right here. This is my dog Bentley, so before anything starts, we gotta let him out, so let's do it. Alright, so here's how today's going. I was just walking Bentley here. We went down this little mudway. I just fell. Now my whole backside here is completely muddy. So that's how we're starting the day. Alright, so after my little fun in the mud situation this morning, I did have to change my clothes. But now it's time to get to work, and while I'm working, I'll explain a little bit about the methodology behind my morning study session. So let's get to it. Alright, so the first study session of the day, and this is probably the most important study session for me. Now, I know the way my brain works, and I know that in the mornings, my mind is the clearest, and I can take the deepest dives intellectually that I will take all day in the morning. So, I usually try to do the hardest thing intellectually in the morning, so I'll work on my hardest class. And for me right now, that is a new class at UCLA called Econ 104, which is called Data Science for Economists. And in this class, we're going over a lot of multiple regression and instrumental variables estimation. It's a tough course, but I am really enjoying it. So that's what I'm working on here. I also, when I'm studying, I follow the Pomodoro technique. So for me, I will study for 25 minutes, then I will take a 5-minute break. And having those intervals really helps me space out my study session and allow myself the break and then get back to it, and it's really helped me. I actually use an app called the Forest app, and it allows me to grow little trees, and it locks down my phone, and you get a nice little garden at the end. I would recommend checking out the app. I believe it's $2 or so, but for me, it was well worth the price. And you can also see here that I use an iPad, and this is something that I started doing in college, and I love it. I take all my notes on my iPad and everything is nicely organized there. I don't have tons of papers, which I did in high school, and I can take photos of the board when I was in class. And what was really nice is when I went to class, I could just bring my iPad and a water, and everything I needed was there for me. So that was something that was really cool as well. All right, so I just flipped the camera around mainly for the sake of lighting, but I just finished up my morning study session of econometrics, and now it is lunchtime, which is always one of my favorite parts of the day. But right before lunch, I usually go for a little walk. It helps me reset and kind of move on to the next stage of my day. I find that if I don't really go outside all day, the day and work kind of blends together, and I like having distinct parts to my day, and the walks kind of help with that. It's something that I've kind of learned as I'm online, that it's good to get outside and break up my day a little bit. So let's go grab Bentley and let's go for a walk. Hey bud, ready for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk? Yeah, I think you do. Let's do it. And we're back again. Come on. There you go. Anyone need a mattress? There we go. Alright, so lunchtime. What's on the menu? I made a little avocado toast here. I think you can see it if it's in focus. Usually for lunch, I'll have a little mini salad. My dad and I are big fans of different types of salads, so we have a fridge, a little mini salad bar fridge, where we make our kind of small little lunch salads. But we didn't get new ingredients last weekend, so I'm making some avocado toast for today, and I'm looking forward to it. Here you can see me watching First Take, and during my lunch, I really enjoy watching sports-related content, whether that be highlights or any sports talk show or anything of that nature. I enjoy all different sports. I follow tennis and football and basketball and a host of other sports as well. I actually have a podcast, a sports-related podcast that I have with my roommate Matt called Diamond Dish. You can check that out on Spotify if you wish. So that's something else that I do as well. And lunch is a good time for me to relax, eat, and catch up on some of my favorite sports teams. All right, so I finished off the avocado toast. It is now review time, and I'm gonna give it a rare 9 out of 10. And I'm a harsh critic on the food I make, and this one just worked. I was a little worried the avocado was a little overripe, but at the end of making it, I drizzled a little bit of honey on top, and it all came together, and it was really good. So the things are looking up. It's gonna be a good day today. Alright, so as I said earlier, I know how my brain works, and I know what I should be working on throughout the day. And one thing that I do know is, after lunch, my brain does not want to do anything hard. So what I usually do is I try to keep whatever is going to be the most fun or enjoyable project or thing that I have to work on, I usually save that for after lunch, when my brain doesn't want to work hard, and I can usually then do something that I want to do, or something that I find the most fun. And today, that's gonna be YouTube. So every day, I usually work on YouTube for about 30 to 45 minutes. And what I'm doing here is either maybe creating a script, or right now, I'm gonna go and respond to a bunch of your guys' YouTube comments. I'm gonna look through the analytics, and I also gotta talk to some video editors that I hire and graphic designers for the thumbnails and different things like that. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, and then I'm gonna transition that into what I call my networking time, which is something that I do every day as well. And I'm gonna let my voiceover kind of explain that one a little bit. So let's get to work. I know the camera angle isn't great here, but you can see I first pull up YouTube, I also pull up Instagram, and I'm responding to some of your guys' messages that you'll send me. And if you haven't yet, you can head over to Instagram and follow me if you wish. I am at Calvin Raab. This is part of the day that I really try to enjoy myself and have fun with what I'm doing. And get ready, you're about to see me dance a little bit, so try not to cringe too hard, and I don't blame you if you fast forward. I don't wanna waste what's left. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I can't play the actual song that I'm listening to right here, but how about this? I don't know how good you are at lip reading, but I will Venmo $10 to the first person that guesses the song and the artist correctly. So, some hints, this is a pop song, and the initials of the artist are A.B., and the song title starts with the letter L. And the song was released in 2018. So, good luck, let me know in the comments below. The first person to get it, I will Venmo you $10. I did want to briefly mention the networking that I do, and I want you to keep a certain amount of time in your head, 121 hours. That is the amount of time you would have spent working on a project if you worked just 20 minutes a day on that project. And that's something that I keep in mind. Every day I try to spend 20 minutes on some networking activity, whether that be going on LinkedIn and reaching out to new connections in jobs that I may be interested in, or going through the UCLA alumni and reaching out to anyone that I think may be good for advice or recommendations for me in my current situation. So I just spend 20 minutes a day, and it's amazing how much has came out of this, how many connections I've made and opportunities have came out of just doing something for 20 minutes a day. It is well worth the time. Alright, so I got a little bit of YouTube work done, and I sent some networking emails. And as you can see, today I haven't moved all too much, and now it is time to change that. We are gonna go and have a quick little workout, so let's do it. Let's change into the workout clothes. Alright, I have never done that transition before, so that could have looked really bad. I don't know, we'll figure out when I'm editing it. But now it's time to go work out, so let's do it. Alright, so workouts, let's talk about it. So I do work out every day, and it's part of just kind of a mental thing that I do. It obviously helps me physically, but also mentally as well. So I am a little tight on time today, and I don't have a ton of time to work out. So what I do in circumstances like this is, if you go on YouTube and you type in 20-minute workout, you'll see a bunch of high-intensity interval training videos for about 20 minutes. So, and a lot of them you don't need any equipment. So it's jumping jacks, it's burpees, and different things like that. So I really like these. They burn about 250 calories, they hike up my heart rate and different things like that, and I think they're great to do, especially on a time crunch. Usually when I have more time, I love to go for
say a bike ride, or I'm an avid surfer and I go down to the beach and surf for a little bit. So I do like to mix it up a little bit, but on a time crunch like today, I like to bang out one of these 20-minute high intensity interval training videos, and then I'm good to go. So at the end of this, you are gonna see a very tired Calvin. So let's get it.
As you can tell, it is winter, which means every time I'm going surfing, I'm wearing a wetsuit, and I desperately need a tan. But anyway, on a different subject, I also realized that when filming this, I probably should have faced the camera, but you're just gonna have to deal with seeing my backside for the next few seconds. Don't worry, I will fast forward this and get you past this quickly.
Alrighty. So finish up that workout. Let's see. So it's right here. See if that focuses. 22 minutes. I burned 269 active calories, 308 total. Heart rate right under 150 there. So it was good. It was a quick little workout, and after every single workout, no matter what it is, how strenuous it is, I always like to stretch out. One of my New Year's resolutions this year was to get a lot more flexible, so I have been working on it. You'll see it is definitely a work in progress, but I just like to quickly stretch out. Usually if I have a lot of time, I like to follow a little yoga session or something that I find on YouTube, but right now don't quite have time, so I'm just gonna stretch out a little bit, and that will be it for the workout. So let's do it.
Now, if you look here, you can see I am pretty inflexible, but oh man, you should have seen me 2 years ago. Touching my toes was a distant dream. So, flexibility for me has been a long process. I'm happy with the improvements that I have had, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. I definitely notice differences in my mental state and physical state as I stretch more, and I've just really enjoyed it.
Alrighty, so lowered the heart rate, and we've now concluded today's workout. So feeling good. I always feel good after I work out. And it is now, what time is it? It's 5:43. So if you ask me, it is nearing dinner time. So we are gonna go to the grocery store, pick up some stuff for dinner, and the evening's looking good. So feeling good. I always feel really good after my workout. It's nice, especially after I stretched. So let's go quickly shower, and then we can head to the grocery store. Let's do it. Quick point of order. I realized I just said let's shower as in we're in this one together. Sorry, camera doesn't go in there. It's not that kind of video. Alright, I'm gonna go shower and I'll see you afterwards. Alright, so I just showered and I changed, stepped outside, and it's such a nice night out. I think I'll take a little walk by the ocean before we go to the grocery store. The train is passing by there in the distance, so should be good. Alright, let's take a little walk. It's a little dark here, but you get the idea. Very nice. Very peaceful. Oh yeah, this light by my house is probably the longest light that I've ever been at. I've sat here for about 5-6 minutes. It's good, we're testing our patience today. All right. I am determined to make this. I've got 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh, what time is it? Could I get a half pound of sashimi grade salmon? Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so I've got my poke bowl and a little bit of soy sauce there, and now I'm gonna find something to watch. And during dinner, I don't usually watch sports or anything like that. I usually watch a movie or some TV show. Now, I'm not a big TV show kind of person. I have seen very few of the big name TV shows that are out there, and that's just, for me, it's kind of hard to get into them, and I don't really enjoy it probably as much as everyone else does. Right now, what I'm about to watch is a TV show called Rotten, which is an investigative series into global supply chain of food, and it looks through the entire supply chain, and you really see how corrupt and kind of evil a lot of these corporations are. It's on Netflix. I would recommend watching, I believe it's the first episode, and it's all about avocados, and it looks at the full supply chain of avocados. It goes into the violence that surrounds them, and it's a fascinating, fascinating episode. So I would highly recommend this TV show, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm about to watch one, I believe it's on water bottles. So it's a great series and different things like that. So if you need a Netflix recommendation, there you go. But now I get to sit back, relax a little bit, and enjoy my Poke Bowl here. So here we go. All right, so if you're wondering, Poke Bowl was fantastic. Now moving on to dessert, 1 scoop of ice cream and half a cookie. And I'm enjoying this episode as well. And after this, we're gonna get back to work. So let's finish this up and I will likely see you back in my room and I'm gonna study a little bit more. All right, so welcome back. Dinner was really good and now it's time to get back to work. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm really into data science. And after graduating, I hope to enter the data science field. Now, in order to enter the data science field, there's a lot that you need to know. Now, some of it is covered in my econ degree, especially in the statistics and econometrics course that I'm in right now, but there's a lot that isn't covered. And to learn that, I have to teach it to myself. So that's what I have been doing. I try to spend at least an hour every single day studying data science. I try to hit 2 hours, but I try to get at least an hour minimum of studying data science. And eventually it all starts to add up, and I have learned a lot in the past year. So behind me, I've got Data Camp pulled up. I've got a number of different courses and different websites and books that I learned from, but tonight I'm gonna stick with Data Camp and get some good studying in before I go to sleep. It is right now 9:35 p.m., so I'm gonna get a little bit of work done with my data science related stuff, and you will likely be fast forwarded through my studying. So let's get to it and let's learn a little bit of data science.
I will add that one cool thing about data science and a lot of kind of tech-related jobs, whether it be programmer or software engineer, is there are some amazing courses online, and there are so many of them, and it's kind of overwhelming at first, but I've been really impressed with the online courses, and they're all quite affordable, and I think that's just something that's really cool about data science, and I've taken a lot of different courses, learned different things, and it's really impressive. So if you ever want any recommendations or anything of what I've done, I don't know if I found the perfect strategy necessarily, but I'm happy to answer any questions about my journey that I've taken so far.
All right, so that was good. It is now 11:27, and this is when my evening really takes 2 different directions. If I'm not happy with how much I got done academically, then I will sometimes open up the books and work late into the night, sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning, because I'm very good at working late at night, and I'm also good in the morning, so it's kind of the dichotomy between the two that I try to balance. But today, I'm pretty happy with what I got. School isn't too stressful right now. I have a midterm end of next week that I'm focused on. But for now, this is when I would usually just start my bedtime routine because I don't really have that much more work to do. So that's what you're gonna see. I have a pretty set bedtime routine that I'll take you on that I think is great for de-stressing and just getting me ready for the next day. So let's start that. So this is when my evening routine begins, and it starts with me writing in my journal. My New Year's resolution back in 2015 was to start writing in a journal. So I bought a journal January 1st, 2015, and it came on the 4th. And ever since then, I've written in my journal every single night, just highlighting today's accomplishments or whatever I did that day. And it's done a lot more for me than I ever imagined. I did it way past 2015, and now we're into 2021 and I'm still doing it. And for me, it makes every day intentional in the fact that it really saves that day for me. It's so easy to forget about days 3-4 years ago, but when I go back and read that journal entry, I'm automatically reminded of what I did that day. And I think just having it in a time capsule like that is really cool, and it just documents my life, and it also makes me realize things that I worry about now, how everything passes, and I can go back and learn what I was worried about and stressed out back in high school or through all my life changes and different things like that. So it's been a really cool, almost therapeutic thing that I didn't think would happen, and I treat it like a journal, not so much a diary or anything, but it's nice to see, you know, life progress, and I like saving the things that I do every single day, no matter how small they may be. So that's what I'm gonna do right now.
What if it's me looking down on me? The world above must also be. This could go on for infinity.
Alright, so I just finished up writing in my journal, and now I go and brush my teeth and usually go take a shower right before bed. And I'm someone who showers every night before bed, even if I showered earlier in the day. I just really like the feeling of completely just ridding myself of any dirts that I have from the day before I go and lay in bed. So that's just me. I actually thought everyone did that until I went and started having roommates and until I went to college. So that's kind of funny, but I've always done it and it just helps me relax before bed. So I will come back, showered and ready for bed. So I will see you then. Alright, so I'm back, and the next part of my nighttime routine really is focused on getting me to relax so I can have a good night's sleep. And it starts with lighting the candle behind me. And the last thing I do before I go to bed is kind of my version of meditation. And I've tried meditating for many years now. I'm someone who really struggles to sleep and really overthinks things. And as soon as I lay down, my mind starts to race and everything like that. So I've tried a lot of different meditation. I actually went and meditated with the UCLA Meditation Club many times before. And for me, I've always struggled with it in the sense that in trying to calm my mind and clear my mind, I would inevitably end up thinking more and overthinking it. And I know it just takes practice and different things like that, but I tried this different technique where rather than having the focus of clearing my mind, I instead try to relax and let my mind kind of run free. So what I do is I give myself about 10 minutes every night to just sit back and let my mind run wherever it takes me. And throughout the day, I kind of suppress different things in my mind that come up. Not necessarily big things, but just small little things that build up. And I think it's important to really just allow your mind to clear itself out. So that's kind of what I do. I just sit back, I will play some kind of calming music, and I let my mind take me wherever it goes. And it could be as simple as some homework assignment, or I think about, who am I going to hang out with, something I said, and just whatever comes to my mind. I don't try to force it away, but rather I accept it and I let it pass through. So this is something I've done for a little while. It just takes about 10 minutes or so, and for me, it's really refreshing and something that I really enjoy doing, and who knows, it might work for you as well. So that's what I'll do. I just sit back, turn on the music, and just try to let my mind run free for about 10 minutes, and it's helped. Alright, so that was good. It's always nice to kind of flush out your thoughts a little bit. So now I move on to the last thing that I do before I go to bed, and that is I read a little bit. Alright, so I'm in my bed, and this is the last thing that I do before I go to sleep. Another one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to read more. I found myself not reading as much as I would have liked, and I really enjoy reading, so I wanted to put an end to that. And I think a big reason for the lack of my reading was because I am an economics major, and we very rarely read through an entire novel. Oftentimes we're reading small magazine articles or snippets of different journals and academic papers, and very rarely do we read something cover to cover, and especially something that's fictional. So I wanted to change that, and this year, I ended up, I think January 1st, just going and Googling books that everyone should read in their life, and I put it all in an Excel, and the ones that were mentioned the most, I read multiple articles, I kind of pushed those to the top, and then I chose from those, and I'm kind of working my way through that. And the reason I picked this one, this is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I'm working on right now, is mainly because it's fictional. Very rarely do I read anything that is fiction as an economics major, and I think it's really important to get lost in a fictional tale, especially before bed. I really like getting lost in kind of an otherworldly sense, and this certainly fits that bill. So far, I'm kind of just beginning, but really, really enjoying it. And that does kind of wrap it up. So I think that does kind of conclude this video. Thank you so much for following me around today. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, this is the first vlog that I've ever done, and it was really funny getting out of my usual studio and taking the camera around with me, so If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you would give it a like and maybe comment your thoughts on it below. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. Any questions that you have or suggestions, I've obviously got a lot to improve on here, but this was fun. If you enjoyed it, I would be more than happy to do this again. So if you liked it, I would love it if you hit the like button. And if you want to see more content, maybe like this, I do a lot of personal finance and economics related videos, then I would love it if you would subscribe. But that will wrap it up. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for following me along today. That was a lot of fun. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you soon. Oh, and go Bruins. Good night, guys.